Yep, we are live. Live.
Hello, world.
Let's just switch that to there so we can see everyone. Hello, everybody. That was all right, wasn't it? It was a bit slow at the start, but the goals were very, very good. Very enjoyable. So, hot takes. Straight in there. Straight into the hot takes. Who wants to go first with their hot take?
I might as well go in and say that we will beat Chelsea on Sunday. And the reason for that is, I think, as we say, our record against the bigger sides have been pretty good on the whole. Chelsea obviously are going to come off what is an extremely tough game against the already champions. I'm sure Liverpool will want to lift the trophy on Wednesday in style. Hopefully it will therefore not their confidence. Our confidence will no doubt be much will be there following tonight. And let's say we look so comfortable in that second half as we'll differ on about in a small while. So I'm going to say sixth place, beat Chelsea, and obviously a bigger points total than last season secured tonight already. So not bad of a season.
All right. I mean, I don't have any thing to say about that except it's completely wrong. Wolves will lose at Chelsea. They will finish seventh. Arsenal will win the FA Cup, and Wolves will not be in Europe next season. Just deal with it.
You haven't. You still haven't got over the last week, then. You're still in your mind.
It's still hanging with me just a little bit, and it hung with me, through 40 minutes of the first half today as well. But it's the destiny is still in our hands. But Spurs aren't losing to this Palace team, so we will beat Chelsea, or we will not be in Europe next year. Arsenal's going to win the FA Cup, so it is the game on Sunday.
Well, it's all right then, because my hot take is we'll win it comfortably. Very comfortably.
Is that a hot take?
I think,
or is that just all of our predictions for?
No, that's just my prediction every week is that we're going to win. So it's no real change.
Second hot take, Bruno Jordão gets another 30 seconds to stand on the side of the pitch on Sunday.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. Was I the only one that was just screaming at the TV for the ball to go out?
Yep. Worst thing is, it went out. It went out 3 times and he could have come on. I was like, oh, put him on. Just put him on. Just kick someone. Put him on.
I mean, we've been falling down with foot injuries every minute for the last 30 minutes of the game, and they just couldn't do it there for Bruno. So I felt for him.
Oh yeah, he deserves to get a couple of some minutes of some kind. So I really hope that he's able to potentially come on Sunday. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it'd be good because heart goes to him. I must admit, it's kind of like, why get him on? It is what it is. But they should have done, as you said, when the ball went out and the Palace player didn't leg it to chuck it, even though there were 2-0 down with 10 seconds left. Farming.
Maybe we'll see him on Sunday. Legitimate hot take, though. I do think that seeing him come on and the absence of Morgan means that Morgan is as far down the pecking order as I guess everybody but me on the mix is saying. So, I'm faithful. I'm faithful to a fault to these guys.
As for my hot take, though, I'm staying consistent with previous hot take that we will finish in Europe and win the Europa League.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I hope so. That way, whatever team in Lativa or wherever it is can get our qualifying place. So,
which be very generous of us to do that. I think
it's good. Well, at least we know, just to say as well, that if it comes to being in the second qualifying round of the Europa League, it's only one-legged ties this year because of COVID. So instead of having to navigate, I think it's 6 ties last year, it'll be 3 tops. So that'll be one small advantage if it came to that. As a side note.
I mean, on the plus though, assuming that Arsenal win the FA Cup, which I feel like they will. If we make the Europa no qualification stages, right, straight into groups, I believe so. If I'm not mistaken.
If Chelsea, in fact, if Chelsea win the FA Cup, that cup place will go to 6th place in the league, and then 7th place will then get the second qualifying round slot, which is where obviously we ended up last year. So that's how we're pretty much the same as last year if Chelsea if Chelsea win it. If we end up in 6th though and Arsenal win it, then we'll have the second qualifying slot regardless of where Arsenal finish.
Is 7th virtually guaranteed at this point?
It is all. Arsenal would have to win tomorrow against Villa and then also win along with us losing.
Okay.
So we could still draw on Sunday and then end up 7th. Even if Arsenal win both their games, as we have a 6-point advantage over them.
6 goals behind us, and we have a 5-goal lead on them. So virtually 7th is assured at this point. So we're huge Chelsea haters this week, and then the next week we're huge Chelsea supporters potentially. Because Spurs.
I'll be honest, I'm pretty much a Chelsea hater most of the time, to be honest.
I think we all.
You're just missing out.
Apart from obviously your man Alex. So I like him.
He is Jesus. He is football Jesus to us. So. And third last hot take from me. I like Chelsea's PJ kit. Their alternate.
Their away kit.
I don't think I've seen it. Or if I have, I haven't taken any notice.
It's kind of light bluish kind of shade, I think, but it does suit them really, really nicely.
It looks like
we can have a live reveal right now while I just Google it. So what Chelsea away kit? Away kit.
My only obviously standpoint would be why on earth is the free logo that big? But I'm guessing that's contractual obligations from the mobile company. What can you do?
So the away one is what?
I went back. I went away there. What did I miss?
I'm just. You're going to get a live reveal. Yeah, it is pajamas, isn't it? No, I'm not a fan. I have to say. It's not nearly there. Anyway, that's Chelsea. Don't care.
Anyhow, about the game, I think.
Yes. On to the game.
Yeah. Even if it was slow in the first half and looked like it was a little annoying at points in the first 45. What can you do when we then obviously produce just two? Well, in the first instance, a real bit of just sheer genius from Jaume Coutinho to put the ball over to Doherty, and then obviously a header from Daniel Podence. Who would have predicted Daniel Podence is? I think some are saying he's 4'7" or something like that. I don't know his true height, but
4'7".
I would say, wonder what odds you would have got on a Daniel Podence header.
Yeah, a Podence header from 3 yards. But that play, I think, summed up Wolves' DNA and the way in which we can just pull off moments of that kind. And it obviously just got the boys awake properly after what had been a fairly dull first half, despite the possession we'd had and what.
Time moved slowly in a lot of that game.
It did.
Very slowly. Much like most of the play. But, the joyous parts made it kind of worth it.
Oh, yes.
Of course, but you know what the key was? It's what this guy's been saying for weeks is we need Doc to make those diagonal runs in the final third, and then we need Traore to switch it up and not just always try to beat the guy to the line, but sometimes go inside. Both those things happened. Both led to goals.
Sign him up.
So just that little variation.
Get him on the coaching team.
So I'll call Nuno.
He might be from a land where it's 4th or 5th in line of the national interest, but this guy's got some ideas.
I don't even know that it registers. So to be honest, for good reason. I would compare it to League One football.
Right.
Just in style of play, maybe even National League. So it's putrid, really. Honestly, I'm sorry. I know nobody's listening in America.
Are you went to the Republic of Ireland's top division then?
Am I what?
Is it the Republic of Ireland's the Republic of Ireland's top division you're relating to?
If you would relate that to the National League, then yes.
Fair enough. No, I understand.
I don't watch Ireland. I'm gonna go ahead.
Neither
and admit
do I.
it.
I've only seen Irish football, I think, predominantly when Shamrock Rovers in 2011-12 got into the Europa League group stage, and then Dundalk got to the Champions League playoffs and then Europa League group. So, top of it in 2016, I think it was. So it crosses the mind, but £75,000 from Bohemian.
It's in Ireland. It's in Ireland. I don't watch it.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know,
but
as much as I don't watch French or Dutch football, you know.
Yeah, but Doherty's cross was one of those which it was.
Oh yeah.
When it left the foot, you know, it was going to happen. Even though obviously there's still the possibility that it could miss the dunks and go across the goal. But it was simple enough.
It was a nice touch from Doherty, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
He looked up and just and to be honest, the whole move was really good. I mean, it was a really beautifully constructed and executed move from start to finish. As soon as they won the ball back from that poor crossfield pass, it was beautifully done. And what I like particularly, which I will skip slightly forwards to the man of the match. You see, my man of the match was Podence, because I watched him throughout that, and his movement, as well as his ability with the ball and what looks like quite pretty good vision, makes a difference. It really does make a difference up front. He's supporting Raul up front. He's getting in positions to support him. But because there's one particular part, I don't know if it was before or after the goal, which I particularly liked, is Raul went and closed someone down, won the ball. Podence had already looked and started to make the run in anticipation of him going and winning the ball off the defender, so that he was already there to receive a ball. Now, okay, the ball didn't get to him that time, but it's just the fact that he's thinking like that. That to me is the mark of a good forward player, because he's got that sort of sense to go forward and risk going forward. I do really like him. I really genuinely, I think we've got a real good player there.
Absolutely. As he, as I say, the goal was a simple enough one for him to score, but everything in terms of his build-up play, the want for him to just go after defenders. He and Raul were doing much of the pressing tonight in terms of trying to ensure that we had chances and so forth. And his speed is certainly a big factor in that. Knowing that he's really hungry. And that's the thing which I think he's going to make him the superstar that I think he will turn out to be. He again played very well. And just in fact seen an article that says Podence. Here's the ratings with which Podence dazzles, and he does have that quality about him. And as I say, it's a simple enough goal. It's a goal, and it will do his confidence massively good. Whether it would have been a 3-yard tap in, or in this case a 3-yard header, the goal's a goal. Gives him another lift, and he's only going to go and grow from there.
Well, I don't think he's going to grow necessarily. But,
that being in terms of football ability, I had a feeling you'd come up with that joke.
No, he's. He would be my man of the match as well. I really like Coutinho today, and then and Doc as well. But just his work rate off the ball and finding that space, being in that space and anticipating. That's how he got the goal. And I mean, I was pretty pleased overall. If I ignore the first half today, but yeah,
it's easy
congratulations on the goal. I know that you're watching right now, and just, I'm happy for you. Many more.
Well, as Ali, my wife, calls him, the pocket rocket.
Yeah, can we trademark that?
I think we should. Sorry, Ali.
Absolutely. In this way, I know I think certainly that's a very good description to fit on him with, as you say, the way in which he just dazzles and does puts defenders into problems, and the way whenever he gets the ball, he looks to use it in such a not delicate but just calm manner. And it really, as I say, it's really beginning to show through now. And obviously, Nuno bringing out on Wednesday, or last Sunday, as he did, was a masterstroke.
So does that relegate Jota to the bench now?
Quite possibly. Clearly, Diogo, as he's demonstrated in Europe, is more of a bit of a bench player, I think. I'd say, as he showed against Besiktas back on December the 12th. And where he could just able to come off the bench and just have such a big impact when needed. Clearly, if Daniel continues to play the way he is, then I wouldn't be surprised if Diogo does have to have a very different impact to play.
Well, that was Jota that was clean on goal right at the death, right?
Yes.
That should have been a red card.
Yes, where the referee bottled it by blowing the full whistle.
Is big for our hopes this season.
Yeah.
So
that ref bottled that decision at the end. He just decided, I'll just blow for it. He completely wimped out.
Yeah, it's not like Palace is playing for anything except not to lose 8 straight on Sunday.
They've lost 7 in a row after that. They won the first one, and then they've just collapsed into it. They've collapsed like a pack of cards.
I'm really pleased that we didn't lose or draw a team that had lost 6 straight going into today. That makes me at least feel less salty.
Yeah, they say their form has just collapsed completely, and it did feel. I have to say, when we got the first goal, a relief.
The most interesting thing about Palace today was Zaha's shoes in the second half. Were you guys on the same feed where they were just like,
rabbiting on about that? Yeah,
shoes. They came out. I loved it. Like, I was watching with my wife and my 7-year-old son, and we were all just like, which pair is he going? He said the black pair, but there's a black and white pair, and there's the black and yellow, and just a straight black.
Yeah, two things. First of all, how on earth does he have that many shoes? I know footballers are meant to have a fair amount of boots, but goodness gracious me! And then secondly,
I'll be honest, he's got less boots than my mate Ben. My mate Ben collects thousands of them. Oh,
wow. There's always going to be one or two, though, isn't there, who has just a huge collection. But then secondly, the commentary. They weren't so obsessive about it. Focus on what's going on the field instead of a Palace member of staff running into the Sir Jack Hayward suite in the Billy Wright stand to pick up a load of boots.
Hot take. I bought all in on the shoes. I was there with them every breath.
Twitter. Let's just say Wolves' Twitter was not pleased. Twitter was not pleased.
I thought that they. I think they tried to rinse a little bit too much out of the shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there wasn't anything.
Boots is a pair of boots.
It was. Yeah, I'm with the shoes. Wolves' Twitter is never happy, so don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, one thing actually, a sort of hot take, match reaction, player rating type hodgepodge of idea about Podence. Actually, I do think if we do play any games where there's only the 2 up front, I think he really is capable of that sort of supporting role for Jimenez.
Yeah, Jimenez has been really quiet. Like I know he's out there working, but he's been so quiet.
I wouldn't be surprised though if the impending birth of his child is probably on his mind. His wife is due any day essentially, so I wouldn't be surprised if say that may have kind of a little bit of affected him. Knowing that at some point he's going to become a father, so. But
so
he has been a bit.
He is very excited based on all his posts that they're doing. So we're gonna miss him for Europe.
Well, it's all going to depend on when Danielle goes into labour and gives birth. I think he stated interview he did for BT prior to tonight that he hoped it would be during this midweek, so then he can get back ahead of Chelsea and not have too much disruption. As I say, she's due any moment essentially. So let's hope it's sooner rather than later, but not on Saturday, for example.
So just in case, then, who you're starting up front? Who's your pairing?
Oh, that is a very important. That would be that.
Chucking Campana straight in.
Oh, he hasn't. Yeah, he
straight
hasn't
in at the deep end.
He's looked sharp in training though. He has looked sharp in training though, from seeing the videos that Wolves put up on YouTube and stuff. In terms of, I know from a couple of weeks ago, particularly, he did look sharp. So maybe why not go very left field? I like that sort of just chuck, go in, do it. Otherwise, but if I wasn't going to do that, I would personally, I think Neto would be a good choice.
Neto at like a false 9 is what I was going to say. Neto, or just put Jordan and put Jota.
But also Jota can also do that role though, because he's quite good at holding people off and stuff like that. So
I'm just coming up with Neto.
But I think my preference would be Neto.
Yeah, I'd say the way in which he holds up the ball, the way he's able to run with it, as he showed, I think, particularly in say the Europa League game against Espanyol, where he almost scored an absolute screamer, which would have made Molyneux even more potty. What was a great night. I think he would certainly be an adequate number 2 to row it in that sense. For if say Danielle gave birth during this week and therefore he couldn't go down on Sunday or what. If he could be one of those who's just, when he gets the ball and uses his pace, I'm sure can put them away. And obviously, as he showed against West Ham, he's capable of scoring, and he's capable of scoring a thunderbolt. I think it'd be a good choice. As I know, we haven't touched on the second goal yet, which was also very cute, very, very well done from Johnny. Maybe dab Johnny up front with the way in which he's just able to smack a ball in.
Has no business scoring that goal, and we have 2 wing backs that can make that turn and hit it with that power, which is ridiculous. But that was sensational.
It was great. It was just fun. Not only was it good, I mean, it was great composure and to do that as well. Because I mean, how many times have you seen a sort of player getting forward who's not usually in the forward line as like a striker or something like that, being in that position and just trying to thump that straight away against the defender and hope that he gets through. And
had no right, did it.
Beautiful.
When you think about it too, everybody that started day outside of Patricio and Cody has that touch like in the box. You've seen Bali do it, and this season, and just that scoring capability from everywhere. It was beautiful, but no right to take that shot. Loved it.
And the way in which absolutely, the way in which he just, as I said, the way in which he got the ball and then took his time about knowing what he was going to do with it. That being the way he got it, took a moment, then turned, and then decided, right, there's the target, bang. The way in which he held it up before then smacking it, we've given the keeper no chance. A bit like how Dendoncker scored against Aston Villa. Absolutely superb. And we've got two wing backs who could basically do that on a constant basis. I think is something in which other teams are probably a little concerned about, as Palace were shown tonight.
I think he's been threatening that for ages. I think he's genuinely been threatening that. He's had a lot of shots that have been blocked, and you look at the shots, you're like, tell you what, they're lucky they blocked that, because he's got a good shot on him. He just gets blocked a lot, obviously, but not today. Not today.
Say the way and maybe those goals could be crucial in future. As I say, Doherty's was against Man City back in December. We have, say, 2 wing backs who are able to just run into spaces, be able to craft out chances through their pace and an ability on the ball. Is I think probably one of my favourite aspects of the team. It's phenomenal. And even though Max Aarons has been rumoured during the weekend about going right wing back, I think Doherty's still doing a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, I'm not giving him up for anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do we lose Bod there? Or did we lose me?
No, you lost me. Not technically, just actually mentally lost me there. I just drifted off for a second while I was reading something.
No,
Sorry.
Yeah, we're talking about football. Football.
Right, yeah, that was it.
And Wolves specifically. But what's next? Transfers?
Yeah, I think so. Because realistically, the first half there wasn't an awful lot to talk about apart from the goal, which was brilliant, which we had a little chat about. The second half was much more controlled.
On all those runs, though, Donk, Bolly, and Johnny all looked shaky on defense in that first 20, 30 minutes. So I thought we were
a couple where they were pushing them through on the floor, and getting caught flat-footed.
Yeah, outside of that.
I also did note in the first half there was quite a few sloppy passes out.
We couldn't keep the ball. We couldn't keep the ball for the life of us in that opening 30-35 minutes. It's again one of those things which isn't usual from us, but maybe in the first half is obviously where we struggle.
It's been creeping in a few games though of late where there's been some sloppy. Bolly's been caught in at least 3 or 4 games now where he's been caught on the ball in dodgy places, which is like, he might do it every now. It used to be that he do it every now and again, but it seems to be coming in a. I've got it noted down in my notes.
It's a little worrying.
It is a little bit, but second half,
mega comfortable. There was obviously 1 or 2 slight mistakes like that from those at the back, but we've just kept it cool. I think particularly once we got the second goal. It didn't look in any real doubt. So
to use an awful football cliche or commentator's cliche, is the first goal settled the nerves.
Yep.
There's evidence for that though, because the spark was there after that. That was a passing team that we've come to love. So turned on direct passes and played up the middle and got his football manager tactics right, and we were off.
Indeed. You mentioned transfers then. As where could you see us potentially? Where could we all generally see us trying to improve? Obviously, we've pretty much been rumoured with most, which is well understandable considering how big of a club we are now and what.
I think we need to improve our center backs. At least get one new signing in.
Yeah.
Seiss isn't a long-term answer. Neither is Donk, and Bolly's been shaky, so there needs to be competition there. Because who's going to come in over Bolly? Maybe Kilman, but he's not going to win outright just yet. So I think you bring somebody in like that and just spend $100 million on an attacking midfielder for funsies.
Why not?
Yeah, with UEFA's with FFP out the way, then we might as well try and blow the book. Obviously,
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right about the centre half. I actually think we do need a right wing back as well, because if Doherty is injured, you can bring Johnny over and then pay
Luke Matheson obviously as well, who we obviously got in January.
Oh, that's true. I did forget about him, to be fair.
Jordan Graham complimented Wolves on the win today, so he's not done and dusted just yet.
He's not completely out of the picture.
Maybe he's seen the light and he's like, Nuno, bring me back. I want to play the system now.
Well, the problem is obviously he's gone permanently, so it would be.
He's going where? Just sign him. He's a cheap signing.
Yeah, re-sign him on a reduced contract.
Yeah.
Harsh but fair. Right, and then he can.
Incentive laden contract. He'll meet it.
Absolutely.
20 Jordan Graham.
I certainly think as well that I certainly think as well maybe another centre back. Another centre back would be good. I think we're covered in terms of left wing back, right wing back, and so forth with Vinagre and Matheson, who I think are going to be probably the two in the next 4 or 5 years who are at the core of those two positions. Maybe another central defensive midfielder as well. No, obviously, yes, we have Stace and Dendoncker, but they are obviously playing much more in at centre back.
You say that,
and of course, another striker as well.
Well, it's not a scoop. It was more I was just thinking earlier today. Kante, could we get him? Which would give us the chance then to release Neves out a little bit more. As Moutinho's obviously great and has played beautifully again tonight, but
he is getting on.
He is getting older, so you've got to think about these things. So some legs in someone like Kante.
I'm of the persuasion that at this point there is nobody that we can't get. We have the money.
That's the thing. I was only thinking Kante for the simple reason he's not playing every week at Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea.
I mean, I think they put a hefty price tag on him just because we're challenging Chelsea. So I don't see that. But realistically, could you not see an aging Ronaldo want to come back to the English league in a year or two? Like, it sounds silly, but then you think about it.
No, he's going to play for years yet. He's not going to stop.
No, and we have
barring some horrible injury, he's not going to. He will continue to play for years.
He's not going to come to America because they can't afford him. So why not take another spin at the Premier League?
Fosun's piggy bank is deep enough. In fact, tomorrow, by the way, is 4 years to the day since they took us over, of which feels quite surreal to say. 21st of July.
4 years.
21st of July 2016. It was announced at 3 p.m. I was at Molineux, in fact, that afternoon for the Clinical Commissioning Group's annual general meeting. Very strangely.
Really?
Which when I saw the announcement pop up on Twitter and so forth. And it's been what a ride since. Now that Fosun, obviously, I'm guessing Fosun probably have taken note of last week's ruling in terms of FFP and City, and maybe we'll not go too out of proportion, but I was surprised they'd try and go a bit deeper. I hope they could be able to go a bit deeper. And it's a 2.5 month window as well, which we'll have to play with, which I think, in considering things, 27th of July to the 5th of October, or whatever it is that's quite lengthy. It gives us time to look really in depth as to who can we get in to make that next step. So it's going to be a fascinating couple of months when it comes to the window. But as I say, 4 years in tomorrow sounds crazy.
Our goal next year is going to be top 4, which sounds completely batshit crazy to say. When David Edwards was first, and I love Dave, don't get me wrong, but he was first on the team sheet those 3 years ago. So it is.
Just Dave, yes, him popping up with headers, and headed winners sometimes, which felt sweet, even if it's a bit bizarre. But
I love Dangerous, love him. But the sheer jump. It's video game stuff is what I always compare it to. I actually had bought Ruben Neves. I think in the FIFA a year or two before, we were suddenly linked with him out of nowhere, and I was like, this is ridiculous, because I was familiar with his value and his potential automatically.
Psychic Alex. Who are Psychic Alex? Tell us, who are our next new big stars?
Who do you think? Who would you put a punt on?
I think that we're going to get Messi and Ronaldo on the same team. and it's just a big FU to European football. Like, come get us. So.
Obviously, maybe out of left field. Why not Lionel Messi? Considering he and Barcelona might be separating at some point soon down the line because of contract negotiations are still.
He's too one-footed.
We
might as well dream the dream.
If you're dreaming the dream, Barcelona want Traore back, and he's worth according to us, he's worth more than Messi. So,
135 million pounds. Yes.
so there you go. How about a straight up swap?
Although Traore is 23, Messi's 33. That'd be my only one little concern.
Well, my French is bad, but how many Ballon d'Ors or whatever did I can never say it right, so I'm gonna embarrass myself. But how many awards has Traore won?
Very true. Not many at the minute, but I'm sure that
there's always Mbappe. Mbappe will play.
I was going to say we could have Mbappe on the bench for when we bring Traore out.
Mbappe's only got 1 year of his contract left, actually, I think. So maybe.
And he's a Mendes guy, right? So
is he?
Has he linked in with Gestafu, which is
I'm pretty
sure, company?
Yeah. Oh.
He's coming.
It's interesting because I was about to say, is he more interested in his brand or his football? Because I think that's what the case is these days.
He's a World Cup winner at age 18. His brand's going to be just fine.
Well, yeah, you'd think that, but so I think some of the topper end. No, that's not a word. The top end of the elite players, I think some start to get a little bit sidetracked with what's good for their brand. Oh, I can only go to that club, or I can only go to that club because of my brand, sort of thing. And it's like,
it's a pipe.
We will be because we've got such beautiful branding. This thing here, bloody lovely. That is.
I don't. One hot take should be that Wolves should never change the badge. It is too unrecognisable.
I work in design. This is so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
You would be an utter fool to change it.
There would be. I think the streets would not forget. Let's say if Wolves tried to change the badge.
Oh, it's so recognisable. That's the thing. You can put that anywhere and you know what it is every time. You can't.
And obviously that's at the heart of Mexico's minds at the minute. Considering, just to say, whenever Jimenez scores, the views, say, of videos of his goal go through the roof. It's the exposure of the colours of the band of the Wolf logo have never been bigger.
I was in San Diego on the border of USA and Mexico, and I was in the Adidas shop. And people were just pointing and going, roll. I was like, yeah. So yes, it just the Wolf shirt, straight away. Perhaps that's the plan. We'll just buy like the stars of large populated countries.
Yeah, do it.
Play all them.
Why not? That's
I'd go with it. I like it.
How to get rich? I was like 2 steps behind you because I was trying to figure out what Adidas is. It's Adidas. Come on.
Adidas.
Don't take it away.
Comes from the name Adidasler.
Never.
One thing again as well though, interestingly, will they? I know as well. It looks like Adidas are going to be going to Leeds United following their promotion. What's the odds of them getting bespoke kits, unlike us, which is obviously this year's looks like it obviously all the leaks and stuff again look like it's going to be true. It's the template is based from Spain's World Cup away kit in 2018. Although one of the football shirt kind of like websites puts it in their top 5 of best kits for this season.
I saw that. Right, just tap here again. You're watching. Stop messing with our sleeves. They're not black.
That's a public service announcement.
You've been told.
Yeah.
Not telling you again.
It looked nice on 2014-15's home shirt, but please, it's old gold all the way.
Yeah.
Enough said.
It's actually with the right colour, the full colour sleeves. Old gold and from like, lovely. It's actually a really nice shirt. Don't ruin it. Just don't.
Yeah, I've been hoping that they leaked the design early to see feedback, but of course that doesn't happen. This decision was made like 9 months ago, but it's still disheartening. But that's why we play for Europe. So get into the Champions League, and maybe we get our own design the next year.
Maybe. I mean, look at there's a nice range of ages here, from old to less old, and even less old. We're all in agreement. So why would It's not just an old man saying this. It's the youth and the international market, all in agreement. Right. There you go.
Those are huge in America.
Yes. One day I hope we can get Lord English on here.
That would be cool.
That would be great.
One day we'll get like somebody on here other than the three of us in general. Anyway.
Well, there is that as well. Yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. So, predictions
for Sunday. It's going to be tight, I think. Obviously Chelsea have, on the whole, been looking not too shabby. And obviously the way they did Manchester United over in the FA Cup yesterday, in part thanks to a horror show by Mr. De Gea, was hysterical. I think it will be tight. Chelsea may know, depending on what happens on Wednesday against Liverpool, that they're going to have to get a win. Yes, they are. I think still free. I think they are 3 points clear of Leicester still. So it's obviously still very much in their hands. But no doubt we will have lots of fire in our belly, knowing that Arsenal and Spurs can still stop us. Yes, Arsenal's 6 points behind with 2 games to go, and therefore it's unlikely that they'll get past us unless they lose heavily and they win both those games heavily, both those games big. But the chance we could end up in 8th is still there. I'm sure that will probably no doubt be on the lads' minds. And for that, with our record, with our pretty good record, even if this season we've been just that a little bit more, I am going to say a 2-1 Wolves win. Jimenez's wife will give birth in midweek. It'll give Jimenez a real bounce and a buzz, and he'll get the winner at some point in the second half. I don't know who will score the first goal, but Jimenez will get the winner. We'll get 6th. And I think everyone will be fairly pleased.
I would venture that all 10 of Chelsea's outfield players score, and then a late penalty is given to their keeper. What's the keeper's name?
Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Yeah.
Which is a mouthful to say whilst having had a
scores the 11th goal for Chelsea, so all players score, and Wolves win 12-11. So, no, in seriousness,
I'd go with that.
I'm gonna.
The bookies probably wouldn't put any bets on it, or they wouldn't allow any bets.
It's a dramatic 1-goal victory for Wolves, a late winner, probably. Traore to Jimenez. I don't know what we'll say 4-3 to Wolves. It'll just be an absolute blinder.
Like Leicester City at home last year, which was one of the greatest football games that I've personally ever seen, even if it was 2 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm.
And my face was red as a rose by the time I got in afterwards. I was like,
well, you know what you just need to do? You need to get me over there, because I've been to 5 Wolves games and I have 15 points from those 5 games. So
So if you are listening, Fosun, send Alex a plane, get him over here. 3 points guaranteed.
Definitely, we can, and obviously, yeah. But why not? If we can eventually get over, then that would be great. Be marvelous. But for all 5 games you've been to, have been 5 wins. Not bad.
Oh yeah, I've been blessed. Bob, what do you think?
3-0.
3-0 to Chelsea.
I wasn't going to say it which way. No, 3-0 to us. I actually think we will I think they will come out fairly strong, but not massively strong, because they'll be with one eye on the FA Cup. And we'll just hit them on the counter. Three goals. They might have a lot of the possession, but I think we will. I think it'll be much more our counter-attack game, because
we'll get to play our game. Like I was just so frustrated seeing it. It looks like what is that, Space Invaders, where it's just like the whole of the Palace team was just like, you know, left, down, backwards, increased speed, and just really frustrating. So we'll get a shot. We'll get a shot if we take it. That's the question. But
if we do, we'll end up on 62 points, which is our highest points total in, I think, since the 70s. Yes, 59 points is amazing, but 60 plus in our second season back would be outstanding.
I'd also like to see Raul get that goal points total as well.
If he scores one more, then it will be first man to score 27 since John Richards.
I think he'll get a brace. He'll get a brace and then take him on to 28, and then that'll be nice. That'll be nice for him.
Yeah, I could go for that.
We're still the Europa League to go.
That's true.
This could still end.
Of course, which we're going to win.
This could still end quite well. In fact, there's one other hot take I'd put out on the table in terms of the Europa League. I would say that Istanbul Başakşehir could play Manchester United in the quarterfinals. They became Turkish champions for the first time in their history on the weekend, and I might as well lay the cards out on the table and say that if it was Istanbul Başakşehir against Manchester United, I could see Başakşehir sneaking a surprise and knocking United out in the quarters.
Let's make it happen.
Let's hope. And then if we do the job against Olympiacos and then one of Roma or Sevilla, then that would be fascinating to say. If United played the way that they did yesterday, then what's not to say that the situation could occur?
Tournament? Are we playing in Germany or in Portugal? I can't remember.
Germany for the Europa League, Portugal for the Champions League. Obviously, depending on the Olympiacos second leg on the 6th of August. But if we do win, then our first game will be in Duisburg, or however you say it, on the 11th of August at 8 o'clock UK time.
Are you all staying up after that? Be a 5-minute post-match chat.
Well, over here in the UK, it's 11:15. Why not?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely. Try and get more on, because obviously if we get far in Europe, then hopefully that will gather. If we go maybe all the way in Europe, then that will hopefully gather a lot of interest. The more we can get engaged, the more we can get on, then the better. Because like seeing some of the streams that people do, say post games and whatever clubs, and say on YouTube and stuff, they're getting thousands of views. It's great.
We're not into mainstream.
We're niche. Niche, not niche. 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 We're an acquired taste. Quality, not quantity.
That's right.
But it's a good taste, particularly after 3 points tonight.
Beautifully put.
And which, by the way, 16 points out of the 24, I think. So even though we had the odd defeat and so forth, it still hasn't been at all bad.
No.
At all.
Excellent. And on that point, I'm going to draw this to a close.
Yes.
So, as I say most weeks, if you want to join us, we'll be here after the Chelsea game. You're very welcome to join us. We would like for you to join us. Otherwise, you've got to listen to us mugs. So, we'll see you then. Goodbye.
See you Sunday.